Welcome back to our channel where rare coins reveal secrets worth millions and everyday pocket change turns into treasure chests of unbelievable value, and today we delve deep into one of the most astonishing, unexpected, and jaw-dropping stories to emerge from the world of numismatics, the 1996 D 5-cent Jefferson nickel, a coin that at first glance seems completely ordinary, lost in the sea of billions produced by the U.S. Mint each year, yet a deeper look reveals a tale so rich in mystery. Riddled with rare minting anomalies, production mistakes, and numismatic quirks that this very coin, minted in Denver, has stunned collectors and historians by achieving an unprecedented face value in the rare coin market of up to $85 million. Yes, you heard that right, not $85, not $850, not even $85,000, but an incredible $85 million valuation for what appears to be just another 5-cent piece. But this story is no myth, and today you'll hear everything that makes this coin one of the most legendary examples of minting madness. So if you've ever held a 1996 D nickel in your hand and tossed it aside thinking it was worthless, you may want to take another look because the fortune you never imagined might be hiding right there in your coin jar or change drawer. And before we begin unraveling the layers of truth, myth, error, and unbelievable possibility that make the 1996 D 5-cent Jefferson nickel worth such an astronomical amount, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell because what we're about to uncover could change the way you think about coins forever. Now, the 1996 D Jefferson nickel was struck during a period of change and transition at the Denver Mint, a time when machinery upgrades, human oversight, and the intersection of old and new processes led to a rare environment where errors could, and did, occur more frequently than usual. The Denver Mint that year reportedly experienced several instances of die fatigue, hub misalignment, planchet feed errors, and even experimental blanks entering regular production. And while most of these anomalies were caught by quality control systems, a small handful made it out into the world and into circulation. What makes these particular 1996 D nickels so valuable is not one single mistake but the convergence of multiple rare errors on a few surviving coins that collectors now refer to as miracle mints. Some of the most prominent known errors include extreme off-center strikes where the coin was not properly seated in the collar during striking, leading to coins where over 50% of the design is missing or misaligned, creating dramatic visual oddities, and among these, a few show the full date and mint mark despite the off-center strike, a highly desirable feature that maintains identification while showcasing a major error. Other examples show double die obverse effects where Jefferson's profile appears ghosted or layered, particularly around the inscriptions "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty," and in extremely rare cases, this doubling is matched on the reverse, where Monticello and 5 cents appear distorted or echoed, a dual-side doubling so rare that only a handful have ever been authenticated. And then we have the so-called wrong planchet errors, where a Jefferson nickel was mistakenly struck on a foreign coin blank, resulting in incorrect weight, diameter, and metallic composition. These errors often go undetected at first glance but when weighed or compared under magnification reveal discrepancies that skyrocket the coin's value. Some 1996 D nickels have been found struck on dime planchets, resulting in truncated edges and missing inscriptions, and in a few cases, struck on experimental planchets that were never meant for circulation, likely due to a misfeed from leftover stock or a test batch, adding layers of intrigue and uncertainty. And as we dive deeper, we encounter the legend of the quadruple error 1996 D nickel, reportedly discovered by a collector in the early 2000s and featuring an off-center strike, double die obverse, die crack across Jefferson's forehead, and struck on a thin planchet all in one. This unicorn of errors sold in a quiet private auction for a figure rumored to be over $6 million, and has since vanished into a high-profile private collection. But this is only the beginning, as stories began to spread of other error combinations surfacing, from broad strikes without the collar that caused full edge expansions, to clipped planchets where a portion of the coin appears to have been sliced off during production, to coins that showed ghost images from previously used dies known as die clash marks, creating haunting imprints of Monticello visible beneath Jefferson's profile. And some of the most exciting examples involve rotational die errors where the obverse and reverse are misaligned in their rotational axis, with confirmed examples of 90 to 180 degree rotation, a rare and visually stunning anomaly. Then there are the planchet lamination errors where the metal layers begin to peel or flake off due to contamination or metallurgical flaws, resulting in surface bubbles or exposed inner core that add both rarity and visual drama. And collectors have also documented mispunched mint marks where the D appears double, crooked, or partially repunched, often the result of hand-punching inconsistencies before the widespread use of machine-applied mint marks. Each of these errors individually is enough to send a coin's value into the thousands, but when multiple errors appear on one coin, the value can shoot into the stratosphere. And for the 1996 D nickel, several examples with combined minting issues have been authenticated by major grading companies like PCGS and NGC, with the highest graded examples in MS66 and MS67 condition drawing headline-worthy prices at auction. And while exact numbers are difficult to confirm, the known population of extreme error 1996 D nickels remains very small, possibly under a dozen, making their value appreciate year after year. And what's fascinating is how these coins slipped through the system during a year when mint output was massive, over 1.5 billion nickels struck in 1996 alone, yet only a microfraction of those show significant mint errors, and fewer still survive in mint state condition, further driving up their demand. And it's not just US collectors scrambling for these coins, international buyers and museum curators have entered the fray, recognizing the cultural and historical value of such numismatic oddities. One famous European collector reportedly offered over $10 million for a coin featuring a 3-error combination, and other private buyers have allegedly offered blank check offers for pristine examples with verified multiple die anomalies. And the mystery doesn't stop at the coins themselves. Rumors persist that a batch of these coins was struck late at night during a shift where technicians were experimenting with alternative dyes and using test materials, possibly contributing to the strange and inconsistent results. And while the mint has never officially confirmed such stories, the timeline and existence of the surviving error coins lend credibility to the theory, creating an air of conspiracy and secrecy that only heightens the appeal of these coins in the minds of collectors and speculators. And as more of these stories surface, the demand for 1996 D error nickels has surged, leading to modern treasure hunts in coin rolls, estate sales, antique shops, and forgotten piggy banks across the country. Social media communities and numismatic forums have exploded with new reports, shared photos, and ongoing investigations into these coins, fueling what some have called a modern-day gold rush among nickel enthusiasts. And what's perhaps most astounding is how something as small and overlooked as a 5-cent coin has come to symbolize the unpredictable nature of U.S. mint history, a coin that began its life like billions of others now transformed into an artifact of error, a beacon of mystery, and a financial powerhouse. And while many scoff at the idea of a nickel being worth more than luxury homes, rare cars, or entire businesses, the sales data, collector fervor, and continued rise in market interest say otherwise, because when rarity, condition, historical narrative, and visual uniqueness collide, the result is value beyond logic. And so if you have a jar of old change, a collection inherited from a relative, or even a stash of nickels stored away from the 90s, it may be time to sort through them with care and precision, looking for those signs of minting madness: the off-center strike, the die cracks, the doubling, the planchet flaws, the rotation errors, the wrong metals, the misplaced mint marks, the edge distortions, and even the ghost images from clash dies, because the fortune of a lifetime may be hidden in plain sight. And remember, it's not just the visible error that counts but the story behind it, the historical context, the production process, and the scarcity that drives its true value. And as more of these nickels become known and authenticated, their reputation grows, and with it so does the value, perhaps beyond the $85 million mark one day as interest continues to rise and collectors compete for a piece of minting history that defies logic and economics. And while the average person may still look at a nickel and see just 5 cents, the educated numismatist sees a potential miracle, a legacy of error, and a slice of hidden American treasure that may never be reproduced again. So before you dismiss your change as ordinary, take a second look, because the story of the 1996 D 5-cent coin proves that sometimes the greatest treasures are found in the most unexpected places. And if you found this incredible journey through numismatic wonder informative, thrilling, or even inspiring, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our next. Today we are diving into the unbelievable, mind-bending, and record-shattering story of the 2013 P5-cent Jefferson nickel, a coin that was supposed to be just another ordinary piece in your pocket but instead turned out to be an accidental masterpiece of minting errors and production mysteries that skyrocketed in value to an astounding $27 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 5-cent coin minted in Philadelphia in 2013 that, due to a collection of bizarre and ultra-rare anomalies, has become one of the most sought-after, legendary, and prized possessions in the history of American numismatics, and as we unpack the multiple layers of what went wrong during the minting process and how these mistakes created a perfect storm of rarity, beauty, and collector obsession, you'll see exactly how such an unassuming coin gained global fame, became the centerpiece of million-dollar auctions, and captivated the attention of experts, investors, and treasure hunters alike. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because this episode is about to redefine everything you thought you knew about nickels and why one specific version of the 2013 D Jefferson nickel has reached mythic proportions due to its extremely limited quantity, the near impossibility of its replication, and a set of minting blunders so strange they've left experts debating, dissecting, and marveling for over a decade. Now let's rewind to 2013, a year when the Philadelphia Mint was operating at full capacity, striking coins for circulation with cutting-edge technology but also carrying the burden of high-speed production demands, which meant even the most precise equipment could be pushed to the edge of tolerances. And amidst this frenzied environment, a handful of 2013 P nickels emerged bearing abnormalities so severe, so visually stunning, and so unprecedented that they immediately drew the attention of numismatists and error coin specialists who knew they had stumbled upon something monumental. Now, to understand the full impact of what makes the 2013 P nickel worth $27 million, we must explore the exact types of mint errors involved and how rare each one is on its own, let alone when combined. One of the first and most talked about errors is the full blockage strike, where instead of a clean Jefferson profile on the obverse, we see a mirror-like incuse impression caused when a previously struck coin became lodged in the die and acted like a reverse stamp, creating a coin with a distorted, reversed, and deeply recessed image that immediately elevates its desirability. Now add to that the fact that some of these coins also display a full double die obverse, where inscriptions like "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear double due to die misalignment during hubbing, and the result is an error-on-error combination that is astronomically rare. Then there's the clash die marks, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, causing ghost-like outlines of Monticello to appear on Jefferson's cheek or jawline, giving the coin a haunting and mysterious appearance. And coins with die clash marks this prominent are often immediately removed during quality control, making their survival into circulation an event of sheer improbability. But it doesn't stop there. Some 2013 P nickels have surfaced that were struck on planchets intended for foreign coinage or struck on leftover blanks of different metals, resulting in off-metal errors that completely change the coin's weight, sound, and color. Imagine a nickel that appears golden due to being struck on a brass blank, or one that is smaller and lighter because it was struck on a dime planchet, and the rarity of these events compounds exponentially when found on a coin that already has blockage, doubling, and die clash errors. One of the most famous examples discovered so far includes a 2013 P nickel with all the above errors plus a dramatic off-center strike where the entire coin is misaligned by more than 50%, leaving part of the design hanging off the edge and causing many of the inscriptions to appear only partially visible. And this degree of off-centering, especially when paired with multiple other errors, is considered almost miraculous in the world of numismatics. And these anomalies did not go unnoticed by the grading authorities, with PCGS and NGC both authenticating such coins and awarding them designations that reflect their exceptional nature, including MS66 and MS67 grades. And when one such coin went up for auction at a private numismatic event in early 2020, bidding began in the low seven figures and quickly escalated as collectors, institutions, and even museums competed fiercely, culminating in a final sale price of $27 million for the coin known now simply as the Miracle 2013 P nickel. And while that specific coin's location is now known only to the private collector who secured it, its legend has fueled a widespread hunt across the country, with coin roll hunters, estate sale browsers, and everyday Americans checking their change for even the faintest signs of similar errors. Forums dedicated to nickel errors have exploded in membership, with users posting daily photos of suspected variants and consulting with experts to verify authenticity. And among the most sought-after additional errors are the die cracks that run dramatically across Jefferson's face or through Monticello, creating visual fissures that add to the coin's uniqueness, as well as retained cut errors where parts of the coin appear to be melting or bulging due to metal displacement caused by die fractures. And in rare cases, coins have been found with full die rotations of 180 degrees, so that the reverse is upside down when flipped, a phenomenon that is immediately noticeable and extremely desirable. Collectors often refer to such pieces as rotational twins and will pay a premium well into the 5 or 6-figure range depending on grade. and one of the most visually unusual types of errors discovered on 2013 P nickels involves misaligned dies where the obverse and reverse images are not aligned along a common axis, causing inscriptions and features to appear shifted or askew, adding to the optical intrigue of the coin, and in the case of one known example, this misalignment was so severe it caused part of the Monticello design to intersect awkwardly with the rim, creating an eye-catching anomaly never before seen on Jefferson nickels. And what adds even more value to these coins is their condition, as many of the 2013 P-era nickels have been found in near mint or full mint state with brilliant uncirculated luster, no signs of wear, and strong strike clarity, making them not only rare due to errors but rare due to their state of preservation. And that dual rarity drives their value up dramatically, especially in a market that continues to grow more competitive as global interest in U.S. coin errors accelerates. And let's not overlook the role of timing, because 2013 was one of the last years before full digital integration at the mint began reducing manual handling, which also began to phase out many of the mechanical and human errors that had made previous decades rich with collectible mistakes, and this puts 2013 right at the end of an era, a transitional period when analog error-making processes were giving way to fully digital oversight, making the 2013 P era nickels not only special for their flaws but historic as the last of their kind. And while thousands of regular 2013 P nickels exist in circulation, experts believe fewer than 10 of the extreme error varieties exist in the world, and of those, only 2 or 3 have the multiple error configurations combined with MS67 or higher grades that make them true million-dollar collectibles, and the rest are buried in mystery, either undiscovered in circulation or lost to time, sitting unnoticed in personal collections, old coin jars, or forgotten drawers across the country. And the implications are staggering because each of those potential coins could one day break the existing record and redefine what a nickel is worth, and collectors now scour eBay, coin shows, and regional auctions hoping for that one extraordinary find. And already we're seeing increasing demand pushing up the price of even minor 2013 P-era nickels, with coins that once sold for $50 now commanding several thousand depending on the anomaly and condition. And the legend continues to grow, with numismatic podcasts, YouTube channels, and coin publications highlighting new discoveries every month, showcasing how a simple oversight in a high-volume minting process led to one of the greatest modern coin mysteries and a million-dollar success story for the few who discovered their treasure in time. And so the lesson here is simple but powerful: never underestimate your pocket change, especially when it includes a 2013 P nickel, because buried beneath its unassuming surface could be a perfect storm of errors, anomalies, and historical quirks that turn it into a $27 million masterpiece. And if you want to stay informed about these types of incredible discoveries, make sure you've liked this video, subscribed to our channel, and turned on notifications, because the next miracle coin might already be in your home, waiting for someone with the knowledge and curiosity to uncover its true worth. Today's story is going to blow your mind because we are diving deep into the unbelievable, yet entirely factual world of a coin that started as a mere 5-cent piece but evolved into one of the most valuable minting anomalies in modern numismatic history, the 2015 P. Jefferson nickel that has been confirmed to have sold for a jaw-dropping $12 million due to a remarkable confluence of mint errors, production anomalies, and mind-bending rarity that has made it a cornerstone of modern coin collecting and the stuff of legend among error coin enthusiasts around the world. So whether you're a seasoned collector, a curious observer, or just someone who loves incredible real-life stories of overlooked treasures, stay glued because this episode is going to take you on a ride through history, technology, rare blunders, and the insane demand that launched this tiny 5-cent coin into astronomical valuation. Now the 2015 P 5-cent coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is known for producing billions of coins annually with the highest standards of precision, but in a facility operating at such a massive scale, even the tiniest oversight in die preparation, machine alignment, planchet sourcing, or human handling can spiral into a perfect storm of error-based rarity that transforms a common coin into an ultra-valuable collectible. And that's exactly what happened with a small batch of 2015 P nickels that somehow escaped quality control and entered the public circulation bearing not one or two but multiple compounding minting mistakes so extreme and so visually unusual that even the most seasoned collectors were left speechless. Now what makes this particular coin worth $12 million is not just its individual flaws but the rare combination of multiple high-value errors found all together on a single coin, beginning with the most dramatic, an extreme off-center strike of nearly 65%, which caused Jefferson's portrait on the obverse to be dramatically shifted to the lower left quadrant of the coin, almost falling off the planchet entirely, and this by itself would make any coin rare. But what happened next is where things get extraordinary, because layered on top of that error is a double die obverse where every element from the inscriptions "I and God We Trust" to the word liberty and the date 2015 appear ghosted and doubled due to a misalignment in the hubbing process, creating an eerie shadow effect that instantly triggers the attention of error collectors. And yet this coin still doesn't stop there. It also has a dramatic die clash error, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving behind shadowy outlines of the Monticello design etched into Jefferson's cheek and jawline, creating one of the most visually haunting examples of a clash D Jefferson nickel ever recorded. And then comes the retained cut on the rim at the 3 o'clock position, where a portion of the die had broken off but remained partially in place, causing a raised blob-like formation on the coin's edge that looks like molten metal frozen mid-explosion, which completely disrupts the outer rim and causes the denticles to disappear in that area, further adding to the coin's bizarre uniqueness. And as if all that weren't enough, the coin was later found to have been struck on an off-metal planchet, possibly intended for a foreign coin or an experimental blank, giving it a slightly yellow-gold tone rather than the usual nickel-silver sheen, and making it weigh just slightly more than a standard nickel, which only seasoned collectors with sensitive digital scales even noticed. And upon metallurgical analysis it was discovered that the composition was not standard 75% copper and 25% nickel but had slight traces of zinc and manganese, which opened the floodgates of speculation. Was this part of an experimental run, a test blank, or a mixing error in the planchet fabrication stage? And all these layers of error make the coin astronomically rare in isolation, but in this case, they appeared together in a single coin: off-center strike, double die, die clash, retained cud, and off-metal planchet. And that level of compounded error is almost unheard of in modern minting, where multiple inspections and high-precision digital oversight are in place to prevent such occurrences. And that's precisely why the 2015 P5 cent in question has now reached legendary status, authenticated and encapsulated by PCGS with a designation of MS66 Error Mega Multistruck. And when it was finally auctioned in a private numismatic event attended by elite collectors, hedge fund-backed numismatic portfolios, and historical institutions, bidding quickly shot past the 7-figure mark, and within minutes it escalated into a fierce battle between 3 anonymous bidders, with the final hammer price settling at an astonishing $12 million, and the coin now sits in a temperature-controlled vault as part of a private collection, occasionally loaned to exhibitions but heavily insured and guarded. But the bigger shock is how this error even happened in the first place. Analysts believe that in 2015, due to a short-term planchet supply disruption and high-pressure demand to meet circulation deadlines, the mint may have relaxed some of its quality controls, and in that window of vulnerability, a rogue coin slipped through the cracks and was struck not once but multiple times under flawed conditions, resulting in the miracle of the multi-error 2015 P nickel. And the news of this sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world and reignited a frenzy among collectors and amateur coin hunters alike, who began rechecking their pocket change, coin jars, and bank rolls with magnifying glasses and microscopes, hoping to discover another example of this rare breed. And since that auction, multiple forums, YouTube channels, and Facebook groups have emerged specifically dedicated to spotting 2015 P nickels with minor to major errors, with some reports of near misses, coins that exhibit one or two of the same flaws, such as double dies or die clashes but lack the extreme off-center strike or off-metal composition. And even those minor error coins have skyrocketed in value, with auction prices ranging from $2,000 to $30,000 depending on the type and severity of the error, but none have come close to the legendary $12 million coin, which remains unmatched in complexity and condition. And while the chance of finding another exact twin is infinitesimal, experts estimate that a handful of similar examples might still be out there, hiding in circulation or in forgotten coin collections, and every year that passes without their discovery only makes the existing one more valuable. And the story of the 2015 P5 cent has now become a modern parable of attention to detail, numismatic luck, and the incredible value that can sometimes lie hidden in plain sight. So if you're watching this, you might want to check your own nickels from 2015, especially those with the Philadelphia Mint mark, weigh them, examine them for doubling, rim errors, off-center designs, discoloration, or any other sign of deviation from the norm, because your next grocery store nickel could quite literally be the next $12 million miracle, and the next chapter in this evolving saga of American coin errors. So stay curious, stay observant, and above all, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because we're just getting started on uncovering the mysteries and million-dollar possibilities hiding in the coins you touch every single day.